Alright guys, so let's get started. Before I actually dive you guys into this Adobe Illustrator, I have a great resources to share with you guys. So that's the resources I found. Why? Because I built. I got not only just art career going on, but also I develop apps. I'm an indie developer, so I encounter a lot of the usage of graphic design. One very heavily used scenario is when I design icons, and at the Google's website, you can actually find the design plans here, okay, and just design UI architecture and optimize for quality, something like that, and you got a great resources in this graphic design. And yeah, so for example, design for Android, something like that. You click this, you can see these great design patterns, and how to like just suitable for multi-screen, big screen, small screen, something like that. You can get all of the resources, and Apple also have a similar called the Human Interface Guideline. There's a great resources for designer. Okay, so we got even got spatial designing, something like that. You can design on different platforms, something like that, and it's a great fun to watch. I sometimes watch this. I just found out recently that it's completely free, and it's great fun. And then, so for example, if you want to say design a I think you get like a bottom, something like that, app icon. Okay, so app icon, you can see you got the best practice for that, and different pixel on the left. Use the circle tick, okay, to indicate degree, and 1616 version of the icon doesn't include the detail. Okay, so basically different pixel you can have a different detail to cater that, because if you stick to the original image, just shrink it down to pixelated it, you might be see a little bit of things a little bit weird. Okay, so it's like a pixel art. You need to include what is essential and just omit the other details. So it's great design, and they talk about the grid. I like icon grids, bounding box, inner bounding, outer bounding, all sort of thing. We will talk about that later. Just a basic idea that we will come through, but I think it's great, especially if you're a indie developer like me. And by the way, if you are not about to develop things, that's totally okay, because I just want to show you that you can actually get the info that you want if you want to do something. And of course, if you are like a freelancer kind of designer, that you receive some gig, and the person who gives the gig will give you the information. If you don't receive that, you need to do a little bit of research and ask them. All right. So for example, if you are creating your project, and if I design a logo, the logo I just found at Android's website. So if you got the apps logo, you got this pixel, okay, 512 pixel. And remember to choose that to pixel. Sometimes you just get some inches or millimeters, centimeters, something like that. Doesn't really matter. Just different people, different gig have different requirements. Sometimes if it's printed out, you might become you choose the centimeters or inches, something like that. But right now, since it's more like the app design, the web design is more used pixel. Okay, and the bleed is like when you actually print things out, and sometimes you need to cut it. Sometimes you have to trim it. So you can have a padding area that you this is just the jargon of printing. Okay, so it's called bleed. Okay, that's like actual bleeding, but you can imagine this as a simple padding. And by the way, the color mode, you can choose the RGB color as well as the CMYK color. My recommendation is that choose RGB color always if you are working on PC, especially if you're working on PC. Okay, so when you work on PC, you'll be used on PC. Just choose RGB. You won't go wrong. But what if you want to say print it out? So you got a poster, you print it out. It's better to use this CMYK color. That's because this is color that most printer will cater to that. So this it can give you like precise control of the printing. But right now you want to show and control the color. Right now it's just through RGB. You won't go wrong. A raster effect. You just use the PPI for it. I use the hardest PPI, and there's a default PPI. It's more than enough. I use that 300 PPI when I draw in Photoshop, and yeah, that's basically the settings that you need to do before you build project. So basically, the pixel, the size of the canvas, is heavily rely on the information that you get from the person who hired you, or some requirements from, say, the guideline, the icons guideline, something like that. You get that info, you plug it in, and you can create a project. Okay, so let's create it. So yeah, create it, and as you guys can see, you got multiple tabs. So this is some like a Play Store tabs that I demonstrate. I don't need to save this. Okay, so we get a new canvas. Of course, this canvas is really similar with the Photoshop. So if you like an old user of Photoshop, you might just tend to grab a pen and just tend to draw on it. But just like hold your horses. Right now, we're going to have a brief tour of this environment, really quick tour, and then we can dive into like a designing. So I think most of the tool is kind of a straightforward, and just to look at the left here, we got this like toolbar, and we can make it bigger or smaller. It doesn't really matter that much, and we can change screen mode. Okay, we can get presentation mode, normal screen mode, all sort of thing, and of course you can just to change the whole layout. Okay, so I think it's like the layout, something like that. Let's search it for it. Yeah, I think kind of gets stuck. Okay, I just accidentally got stuck. So basically, you just type out layout. You can search for it. Okay, so basically you go to this window. Okay, and workspace, and we got essential, automatic, essential, classic layouts, something like that. And of course, you can just reset everything. Okay, if you really mess this up, like you drag something like that, and you just don't know what's going on, you can always reset everything. And of course, if you say, well, I'm using something and you don't have something in your toolbar, that's very natural, because Adobe just constantly changing everything. I haven't used Photoshop for like half a year recently. And when I open that, update that, and open that, Photoshop is just going crazy. So yeah, you have to get your tools like familiar with, yeah, just familiarize yourself with the tools. And if you can't see something, maybe just not a lot of people using it, just to go to here. Okay, and you can edit that. You can find something more of the functionality here. And so, for example, something like this, and you can actually use this by click this. Okay, so right now the default tool is like the selection tool, and we got the multiple selection tool. We will talk about that, but right now you don't need to worry about this. Okay, if you choose something, you can see that the right panel just got changed. Okay, so choose this, right panel got changed, and the specific properties of the tool that you are using will be shown here at the right side. And I think the Adobe just like invest huge and promoting hugely on their AI service. So we got like a prompt here, and you can generate that. Okay, this is really convenient, especially if doing some of the design they want to do it quick. If you want to get some inspiration from the AI. And it's just like Photoshop. If you just you see this like arrow sign here, just click and hold it, you can change it. So right now it's a direct selection tool. You can change that group selection tool. You can change it to lasso tool, and of course the right side is the shortcut. It's really convenient to remember some part of the shortcut. Okay, so yeah, right now I got like this selected. Let me just rewind that, and you can change that back. Okay, so if you already select some of the tool, but you still can't see it, you just click and hover, like hold the click and change that. Okay, so it's really convenient. And yeah, I think I just introduced one more tool, and let's call this for a day for this video. And in next video, I'm going to go through that. I think in next series of video, I'm going to go through all this tool one by one. So remember when I first create this project, I got this like the pixel of width as well as height. I can get a portrait mode as well as like a horizontal mode, something like that. Let me introduce more jargons. Okay, so if you hover over here, okay, and yeah, you can't see the name. That's weird. So this is let me just try that one more time. I should be able to see this name, but I just can't. Okay, this is called artboard, by the way. So sorry about that. And I think they should be able to see the name. Like you hover over this, you can have this name, but you can't. Do you remember that when you open this project or create this project, you got the like width and height, and you can change that actually by using this artboard selection. So you just click here, and I don't know what's going on. Maybe some bug with this software. Okay, so you click here and you select everything. Okay, so let me just zoom out a little bit. You can use command and minus to zoom it out. You can see that you select this, and the whole canvas in Illustrator's jargon is called artboard. So I don't know why they call that artboard. It's like you are creating art and you gotta use your board to create it. I'm not sure, but if you select this and say you want to later change this, okay, so you can see at the properties the right side you got this 512 and 512 width and height. So for example, you want a little bit more space for that, so maybe say 550. So you want to change it 550 and 550. Okay, so you can change it. As you can see, if you like enter the number and press enter, it will just automatically apply to the canvas or to the artboard that you are creating. Okay, and here comes to an interesting part. Okay, so let me command and Z. If you are using PC, you just use Control and Z. Okay, so everything every time I say command, you just use Control, and you can use this anchoring function, and it's a great fun. So the reference point is automatically default at the center of your artboard, and so the X and Y will be the anchor that you are referencing. Sometimes the anchoring, the reference point, is in reverse. So it's like here. So right is X, and going down is Y, and the downer you are, the more down you are, the higher the Y number. And if you are using this kind of X system, yeah, you can just like flip the Y-axis, and everything will be fine. And this is like a normal way of doing things. So it's on here at the right side will be X. The bigger number, the X, the righter you are. Okay, so just going all the way right. And of course the Y-axis, the upper you are, the higher number you get. The downer you are, the smaller number you're going to get. But normally we just choose the center. That's the reason. If you like divide 512 by 2, and we got 256, and that's just simple mathematics. Okay, so basically, if you want to like add the width, adding the height, you use this method. You can just increase the left and right, up and down at the same time with the same width. Okay, that's a very convenient way of doing things. And yeah, do you remember that when we first create this app, It's not creative steps. It's creative start or design, and we kind of like choose the custom preset. And for example, later you receive a phone call and ask you, hey, say, hey, I'm going to print this like to a A4 poster. What are you gonna do? You don't want to lose your design, so pretty simple. What you're gonna do is to let me just add some shape here. So if you like click, hover over it, you get a lip tool. Let me just add a like a star tool here. Okay, let me just place a star, like a multi-star here. So for example, this is your design. Okay, and later you receive a phone call say, hey, we don't want this logo design, but we want to print it out in a A4 paper, so change that. You're not going to lose this by just changing the canvas. Instead, you can choose this artboard tool, and then you can change the preset. Okay, so you just change that to A4 preset, and voila, here's your A4 paper. And of course, you can just rotate that from portrait mode to landscape mode, and yeah, that's all depends on you. So for example, if it's something like this, you can choose it, and yeah, it works great. Okay, so then you can rearrange all these stars by selecting everything, and you can move it, say, at the center of here. Okay, and remember, everything that you do is just a vector. So if you like zoom it in like crazy, you can still see it here, but we will talk about this pixelated thing later on. Still, it's just a vector. You can always change, like rotate it and yeah, something like the rotate angle. Okay, so you don't need to like force it to be a certain shape. Okay, you can change that. You can rotate it. You can add in the curve. Okay, because this is a way to change the curve. I think if you just hover a little bit right here, and you can rotate this. Okay. Let me just get outside of here. The rotation need to find the sweet spots. Okay, so yeah, the round mode. So here, so you can actually rotate this thing and redesign that. And of course, you can use that as a container and using AI to generate this. So it's great fun. But this video mainly is about the artboard, so you can actually change all that layouts depending on your need without actually lose the thing that you're working on. Okay, so see you next video. Bye.